On the 17th and 18th of the month, Lebanon experienced a series of coordinated explosions targeting communication devices, including pagers, walkie-talkies, and even household electronic appliances. These attacks were not isolated incidents, but part of a sophisticated operation that has been attributed to Israel, though official confirmation remains elusive. In examining recent events in Lebanon, where a series of explosions targeted communication devices, we see a stark contrast to the festive spirit of the Mid-Autumn Festival. These incidents remind us that while communities celebrate their heritage, they must also navigate the complexities of modern threats. The juxtaposition of these two scenarios illustrates how cultural traditions can be overshadowed by crises that demand strategic responses. Imagine waking up one morning to find that the communication devices you use daily, your phone, your pager, even your household appliances, are now the enemy's weapons. This chilling scenario became reality in Lebanon, where a series of explosions turned everyday technology into tools of war. How did this happen? And what can we learn from ancient strategic wisdom to prepare for this new era of warfare? Watch this video to explore the intersection of modern technology and ancient strategy. The Mid-Autumn Festival, a time of reunion, a time for families to come together. It's a celebration deeply rooted in the cycles of nature. We mark the year's brightest full moon, the harvest moon. Across East Asia, homes glow with the warm light of lanterns. Stories are shared, laughter echoes. It's a moment of joy, a moment of gratitude for the bounty of the earth. At the heart of this festival is a simple treat, the mooncake. These delicate pastries, often filled with sweet bean paste or lotus seed, are more than just food. They are a symbol of unity, a reminder of the interconnectedness of life. As we break bread, or rather mooncake, with loved ones, we partake in a tradition centuries old. The Mid-Autumn Festival, celebrated on the 15th day of the 8th lunar month, has historically served as a time for family reunions and reflection. It is intriguing to note that 700 years ago, mooncakes were ingeniously used to conceal messages about uprisings. This tradition of covert communication during festive times underscores the dual nature of celebration and conflict. As we reflect on this, we can ask ourselves, how do traditions inform our responses to modern crises? But the mooncake holds a secret, a history whispered through generations. You see, these sweet treats weren't always symbols of celebration. They were tools of resistance. Legend tells of a time of turmoil, a time when invaders ruled the land. The people yearning for freedom needed a way to communicate, a way to plan their rebellion. The answer came in the form of the humble mooncake. Messages, carefully concealed within the pastries, were passed from hand to hand, a silent call to arms. And so the mooncake became a symbol of hope, a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of the human spirit. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, the flame of freedom can burn bright. The Mid-Autumn Festival, a time for reflection, a time to remember that peace is precious. It's easy to forget, amidst the joy and celebration, that the world can be a volatile place. The recent events in Lebanon serve as a stark reminder of this reality. Explosions targeting communication devices. Chaos and fear grip the streets. The echoes of conflict reverberate across the globe. It seems the world has always been thus, a tapestry woven with threads of both harmony and discord. Just as the moon has both its light and dark sides, so too does humanity. As we gather under the harvest moon, let us not forget those who live in the shadow of conflict. Let us strive to build a world where mooncakes are shared, not as messages of war, but as tokens of peace and understanding. To safeguard against the next wave of covert technology warfare, it's crucial that we act now. Discover how ancient wisdom and modern technology intersect in this evolving conflict landscape. Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more insights into the future of global security. In an era where technology pervades every aspect of life, the threat of weaponizing everyday devices is no longer speculative. Recent events in Lebanon, where communication devices such as pagers, walkie-talkies and even household electronics were used in a coordinated series of explosions, reveal a chilling reality. Our interconnected world can become a battlefield in the blink of an eye. This strategic warfare echoes the ancient teachings of Sun Tzu's Art of War and the wisdom found in the Yi Jing, Book of Changes. The Mid-Autumn Festival's mooncake tradition, which historically hid messages of rebellion, exemplifies how objects in plain sight can be turned into tools of war. This historical precedent connects to modern tactics where attackers weaponize supply chains and infiltrate seemingly benign communication systems to cause destruction without direct confrontation. This reflects the concept of Yi Jing's hexagram 36 Ming Yi, darkening of the light, symbolizing the need for concealment and indirect action. The world today is a web, a complex network of interconnected systems. Our lives are increasingly intertwined with technology. Information travels at the speed of light, but this interconnectedness is a double-edged sword. While it brings us closer together, it also makes us more vulnerable. An attack on one node in the network can send shockwaves across the globe. The events in Lebanon are a stark illustration of this new reality. They force us to confront uncomfortable truths about our interconnected world. Truths about our reliance on technology, truths about the fragility of peace. As we move forward, we must find new ways to safeguard our interconnected world. We must find ways to ensure that the tools we create are used for good, not for harm. The future of humanity may very well depend on it. The Mid-Autumn Festival, a time for celebration, for family. Yet even as lanterns illuminate the night sky, a shadow falls upon the Levant. Yi Jing's hexagram 6. Conflict is particularly relevant here. This hexagram symbolizes the tensions that arise when opposing forces clash, emphasizing the need for careful navigation through challenging circumstances. It calls for introspection and preparation before engaging in conflict, reminding us that resolution often requires understanding both internal and external dynamics. Lebanon, a land steeped in history, finds itself grappling with a modern threat. The news from Beirut is troubling. Not the roar of bombs or the rattle of gunfire, but something far more insidious. Coordinated explosions have struck at the heart of the city, not targeting buildings, but communication. Pagers once ubiquitous, now relics of a bygone era, rendered useless. Walkie-talkies, essential tools for emergency responders and businesses alike, fall silent. Even the hum of household appliances is disrupted, their circuitry fried by an unseen enemy. This is not a conventional attack. This is something different, something unsettling. It is a stark reminder that in the 21st century, warfare no longer requires armies or artillery. It can be waged silently, insidiously, through the very devices we rely on every day. The world watches with bated breath, trying to understand who would orchestrate such an attack. And why target communication, the very lifeblood of modern society? Fingers point to Israel, a nation known for its technological prowess and its history of covert operations. While official confirmation remains elusive, the whispers grow louder. Has the world entered a new era of conflict, one where everyday devices become weapons of war? The answer, it seems, is far more complex than a simple yes or no. This is not merely an attack on infrastructure, but an attack on trust. By turning the tools of communication against us, the attackers have sown the seeds of doubt, not just in technology, but in our very ability to connect with one another. This is the true insidiousness of this attack. It strikes not just at our physical world, but at the very fabric of our social connections. We find ourselves adrift in a fog of uncertainty. The old rules of warfare no longer apply. The battle lines are blurred, the enemy unseen, the weapons disguised as everyday objects. How do we navigate this new landscape, this digital minefield where danger lurks in the most unexpected places? Some call for retaliation, for a swift and decisive response. But against whom and with what weapons? Traditional military might seem ill-suited for this new type of conflict. Others urge caution, warning against rash action. They argue for diplomacy, for dialogue, for a return to reason. But can reason prevail in a world where the lines between war and peace, between friend and foe, are so easily blurred? The truth is, there are no easy answers. We are entering uncharted territory, a digital wilderness where the old maps no longer guide us. This is the challenge of our time, to find our way forward, to forge a new understanding of peace and security in a world increasingly defined by its interconnectedness. The Mid-Autumn Festival, with its themes of harmony and balance, offers a stark contrast to the events unfolding in Lebanon. The festival reminds us of the cyclical nature of life, the ebb and flow of light and darkness, of peace and conflict. Yet the world today seems out of balance. Technology, once a beacon of progress, now casts a long shadow. The tools we created to connect us, to enlighten us, are now being used to sow discord, to spread fear. As we gather with loved ones, let us not shy away from these difficult truths. Let us use this time of reflection to contemplate the path ahead. The future, as always, remains unwritten. It is up to us collectively to choose the path of wisdom, of compassion, of understanding. Only then can we hope to create a world where the light of peace outshines the darkness of conflict. Sun Tzu, the ancient Chinese military strategist, wrote in The Art of War, "The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting." For centuries, his words have guided generals and emperors. Today, they resonate in the digital age. The attacks in Lebanon, silent and insidious, are a testament to this principle. There were no marching armies, no thundering cannons, yet the impact is undeniable. Communication, the lifeblood of a nation, disrupted. Trust, the foundation of society, shaken. This is the new face of warfare, a subtle dance of disruption and deception. It is a conflict fought not on traditional battlefields, but within the circuits of our devices, the networks that bind us together. The enemy operates in the shadows, their weapons invisible to the naked eye. This new battleground requires a new way of thinking. We must learn to see the unseen, to anticipate the unexpected. The old rules no longer apply. To combat this new threat, we must embrace the wisdom of the ancients, adapting it to the digital age. Sun Tzu also wrote, "All warfare is based on deception." In the digital realm, this deception takes on many forms. Malicious code hidden within seemingly harmless software. False information spread through social media. Devices once trusted turned into tools of espionage. The attackers in Lebanon exploited this principle masterfully. By compromising the supply chain, they turned everyday devices into weapons, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. They understood that in the digital age, trust is the most valuable commodity, and its erosion can be far more damaging than any physical attack. This new era of warfare requires a new kind of vigilance. We can no longer afford to blindly trust the technology we use. We must educate ourselves, question our assumptions, and demand transparency from those who create and control the digital world around us. The battle for truth and trust is now being fought on the digital front lines. It is a battle we cannot afford to lose. Our very way of life, our ability to connect and communicate, depends on it. Yi Jing, or Book of Changes, is another ancient Chinese text that offers valuable insights for navigating our modern world. It teaches us that change is constant and that adaptability is essential for survival. In the face of the unseen enemy, this message rings truer than ever. We must be adaptable in our thinking, in our strategies, in our very way of life. The old methods of defense, designed for a physical world, are no longer sufficient. We must embrace new technologies, develop new protocols, and foster a global culture of cybersecurity. This is not just the responsibility of governments or corporations, but of every individual who uses and relies on technology. Just as the ancient Chinese adapted their tactics to the changing seasons and terrains, so too must we learn to adapt to the ever-evolving landscape of the digital world. The threats may be new, but the principles of resilience and adaptation remain timeless. I Ching speaks of the interconnectedness of all things. Today, this interconnectedness is more literal than ever before. The Internet of Things, a vast network of devices, sensors and systems, is rapidly changing the way we live, work and interact with the world around us. But this interconnectedness also brings vulnerability. As we weave technology ever more tightly into the fabric of our lives, we create new avenues for attack, new points of failure. The events in Lebanon are a stark reminder of this reality. I Ching teaches us to seek balance in all things. In the digital age, this means finding a balance between convenience and security, between innovation and caution. We must be mindful of the risks as we embrace the possibilities of the interconnected world. Just as the ancient Chinese used I Ching to navigate the complexities of their time, so too can we use its wisdom to find our way in the digital age. The challenges we face are complex, but the solutions need not be. By drawing on the timeless wisdom of the ancients and combining it with the ingenuity of modern technology, we can create a safer, more secure digital future. We must invest in research and development, fostering innovation in cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. We must strengthen our international partnerships, sharing information and resources to combat this global threat. And we must empower individuals, providing them with the knowledge and tools they need to protect themselves and their families in the digital age. The path forward is clear. Let us embrace the wisdom of the past, the ingenuity of the present and the hope of the future. Let us work together to build a world where technology serves humanity, not the other way around. The events in Lebanon, while geographically distant for many, send ripples of unease across the globe. They expose a vulnerability we've long tried to ignore, the fragility of the systems we rely upon. Our modern world is built on trust in the supply chains that deliver goods to our doorsteps, trust in the technology that powers our communication, our finances, our very lives. This trust, once taken for granted, now appears increasingly tenuous. The attacks in Lebanon were not merely an act of sabotage, they were a calculated assault on the very fabric of our interconnected reality. By turning everyday devices into weapons, the perpetrators have sown seeds of doubt that are difficult to eradicate. Can we trust the smartphones in our pockets? The appliances in our homes? The very infrastructure that connects us all? These questions, once relegated to the realm of dystopian fiction, now demand our urgent attention. The implications of the Lebanon attacks extend far beyond the immediate damage. They raise the spectre of a world where any device, no matter how innocuous, could potentially be turned against us. Imagine a world where a refrigerator could malfunction not due to a faulty compressor, but due to malicious code embedded in its circuitry, where a child's toy could be used to spy on a family, where a life-saving medical device could be remotely disabled. This is not science fiction, it is the logical endpoint of the path we are on. As technology becomes ever more sophisticated, so too do the means to subvert it. The line between innovation and weaponization becomes increasingly blurred. We are entering an era where the greatest threat to our security may not come from traditional armies or weapons of mass destruction, but from the very technologies we embrace for their convenience and connectivity. The question then is not whether we can prevent such attacks entirely, but how we adapt to this new reality. How do we navigate a world where every connected device is a potential point of vulnerability? The answer? As with so many complex challenges, lies in finding a balance. We cannot abandon technology. It is too deeply interwoven with our lives. But neither can we afford to embrace it blindly without considering the potential consequences. We must become more discerning consumers of technology, demanding transparency from manufacturers and accountability from those who control the flow of information. We must invest in robust cybersecurity measures, both at the individual and societal level. And we must foster a global dialogue about the ethical implications of technology, ensuring that it is used for the betterment of humanity, not its detriment. The challenges posed by the weaponization of technology are global in scope, and they demand a collective response. No single nation, no single company can hope to address them alone. We need international cooperation on cybersecurity standards, information sharing, and the development of ethical frameworks for the use of technology. We need to bridge the gap between the tech sector and policymakers, ensuring that regulations keep pace with innovation without stifling progress. And perhaps most importantly, we need to engage in open and honest conversations about the future we want to create. A future where technology empowers, not endangers. A future where connection fosters understanding, not conflict. A future where the mooncakes we share are symbols of unity and hope, not reminders of a world on the brink. The old ways of thinking about security, of building walls and fortresses in the digital world, are no longer enough. We must look beyond the firewall to address the challenges of this new era. Blockchain technology offers a promising avenue. Imagine tracking every device component on an immutable ledger. This ensures a verifiable record from factory to end user. It adds transparency, making tampering difficult. Blockchain is not a silver bullet, it's one tool in an evolving arsenal. Another key strategy lies in embracing the power of open-source technology. For too long, the inner workings of our devices, the software that controls them, have remained shrouded in secrecy, proprietary black boxes accessible only to a select few. This opacity creates an environment ripe for exploitation, where vulnerabilities can linger undetected for years, known only to those who might exploit them. Open-source software, on the other hand, thrives on transparency. By making the source code publicly available, we invite scrutiny from the brightest minds across the globe, creating a powerful deterrent to malicious actors. Imagine a world where the software that powers our smartphones, our critical infrastructure, is open for all to see, to audit, to improve. This is not about sacrificing security for transparency. It's about recognizing that in the digital age, true security comes from collective vigilance, from the power of many eyes. Nature, in its infinite wisdom, has already solved many of the challenges we face in the digital realm. For millennia, biological systems have evolved sophisticated mechanisms to defend against intrusion, to adapt to changing environments, and to maintain resilience in the face of constant threats. Biomimicry, the practice of drawing inspiration from nature to solve human problems, offers a rich source of ideas for enhancing cybersecurity. Imagine security systems that operate like our own immune systems, constantly monitoring networks for anomalies, identifying and isolating threats before they can spread. Or consider the distributed intelligence of ant colonies, where individual ants, acting autonomously, collectively solve complex problems. Could we design cybersecurity systems that mimic this approach, creating a decentralized, self-healing network that is far more resilient than any centralized system? By studying the elegant solutions that nature has developed over billions of years, we can unlock new possibilities for securing our digital future. The challenges posed by the weaponization of technology are too great, too interconnected for any one nation to tackle alone. Just as the threats transcend borders, so too must our solutions. We need a global alliance for a secure future, a collaborative effort that brings together governments, industry leaders, researchers and citizens from all corners of the globe. This alliance must be built on a foundation of shared values, a recognition that in the digital age, our security is inextricably intertwined. This is not about creating a global surveillance state, but about fostering a culture of responsible innovation, of ethical technology development. It's about recognizing that the same tools that can be used to divide and destroy can also be harnessed to build a more peaceful, more secure future for all. Technology reflects our human nature. It can build or destroy, connect or control. The choice lies with us. The weaponization of technology is a societal challenge. It forces us to confront trust in a tech-mediated world. Can we trust the devices, companies and governments? And can we trust ourselves to wield technology wisely? The events in Lebanon offer a chilling glimpse into a future where constant surveillance is the norm, where privacy is a distant memory, and the line between the physical and digital realms is blurred. The digital panopticon, inspired by Jeremy Bentham's prison concept, is now a reality. With sensors, facial recognition and data mining, mass surveillance is at our fingertips. The question is how we choose to use these technologies. Will we allow them to erode our freedoms or demand ethical guidelines? The choice is ours, but complacency is not an option. The stakes are too high to ignore. How can we relate specific incidents like the Lebanon explosions to broader global trends? The challenges posed by the weaponization of technology are global in scope. We need a new framework for thinking about technology, one that goes beyond national borders. This framework must be grounded in shared ethical principles. It must prioritize human well-being, social justice, and the preservation of our planet. It's about ensuring technology creates a future worthy of our shared humanity. Building such a future requires recognizing our interconnectedness. The moon's long shadow. As we gather under the harvest moon, celebrating unity and hope, the events in Lebanon cast a long shadow. Even in our celebrations, we cannot escape the world's complexities. The moon, a silent observer, has witnessed our triumphs and follies. It has seen empires rise and fall, and yet we strive for connection and peace. Often entangled in conflict, blinded by our ingenuity, our tools can build or destroy. This is our paradox, the tightrope between progress and peril. As we stand at this crossroads, ancient wisdom offers a guiding light. The Lebanon attacks reveal a trend of weaponizing technology in unexpected ways. Sun Tzu discusses the importance of understanding broader trends, not just immediate tactics. The Yijing hexagram 63, GG, after completion, emphasizes cycles of action and reaction, showing that technological warfare, while specific in its methods, is part of a larger cycle of evolving conflict in the modern world. The Mid-Autumn Festival, with its emphasis on balance and harmony, offers a timely reminder that progress without prudence is a dangerous path. Just as the moon waxes and wanes, so too must we find a balance between our desire for innovation and our need for security, between our embrace of technology and our respect for human values. The events in Lebanon are a wake-up call, a stark reminder that the choices we make today will have far-reaching consequences. We cannot simply react to each new threat as it emerges. We must anticipate, adapt and evolve our thinking to stay ahead of the curve. This requires a fundamental shift in perspective, from a mindset of competition to one of collaboration, from a focus on short-term gains to a commitment to long-term sustainability. It requires a recognition that the challenges we face are interconnected and that our solutions must be as well. A time for wisdom, a time for courage. The path forward will not be easy. It will require wisdom and courage. We must bridge divides and build understanding. Our shared humanity is our greatest strength. The Mid-Autumn Festival reminds us that hope endures. Let the moon's glow illuminate our path forward. Our actions have consequences. Together, we can write a story of hope and resilience. We have seen that not only is it possible to merge ancient Eastern wisdom with modern financial strategies, but it is also highly feasible. This fusion represents a revolutionary approach. From embracing change to striking the right balance between empathy and determination, these principles offer a refreshing perspective on business management. Therefore, let us remain optimistic. These timeless yet timely strategies can help businesses prosper. The importance of balance and strategic thinking cannot be overstated. The key is to find the perfect equilibrium and maintain agility, much like a tightrope walker with the safety net below. To successfully navigate the future economy, it is essential to adopt careful, intelligent strategies that focus on balance and adaptability. The current global market situation is complex. It is a mixture of favorable and unfavorable conditions, offering both opportunities and risks. The environmental resources of each region on Earth are distinct due to their unique latitudes and longitudes. We can summarize real-time opinions by using advanced artificial intelligence technologies such as neural networks, which account for regional characteristics and national economic data. By watching our videos each week, you can stay well informed with minimal time investment, gaining valuable insights that will enhance your life in numerous ways. In order to thrive in these volatile financial environments, it is crucial to be adaptable and avoid unnecessary risks. Regardless of your level of investment experience, it is important to keep an eye on our video releases to make more informed decisions. Remember, knowledge is not only a tool to enhance your value, it is also a form of power. If you have any topics you're interested in, feel free to leave a comment. As we conclude this episode, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to all our viewers for their continued support. If you found today's video helpful, please give it a like so that you can easily return to it when needed. Thank you for your attention and support.